Hi, I'm Jason Woodrow. This is going to be a very quick and dirty overview of the Panasonic HC-WXF1 4K video camera, just to give you a first look at it and some of its features. I won't do much video since most of you already know how nice 4K can look, and if you don't have a 4K monitor, you couldn't appreciate the fine details anyway. I mostly record musical gigs instead of dimly lit jazz clubs. And up until now, I've been using a Sony Handycam, but it's about 7 years old, and in low light, it looks grainy and a bit green. I began searching for a new camera and noticed that there were a few 4K video cameras for consumers. I did a lot of reading, and most said that shooting in 4K and downsampling the video to HD would give you better sharpness than shooting in straight HD, and so that's why I headed toward a 4K camera. I had nearly settled on the Sony AX53 when I saw mention of a Panasonic that had great features. I also wanted a camera that hadn't already been out for years. I found the Panasonic site and saw a quick overview of the camera and decided to buy it pre-release. I also ordered a Sony 128 gig SDXC card, shown here. Lastly, I ordered a couple of larger batteries and an external charger. Often when I'm in a club, gigs can go on for quite a while. Once I received the camera, I had to download the full manual online because the quick start guide that came with it left way too many questions. I did have to leave the camera plugged in overnight once I received it because it had to be powered up, of course. The camera has a pretty good heft to it. It fills my hand, and it's not what I would call heavy. I understand that's a subjective thing, but that's my take on it. The outside of the camera has some buttons that allow you to quickly change modes without having to go through the LCD menu. The top of the camera has a recording mode button that lets you switch between cinema mode, which shoots at 24p, standard 4K mode, and digital photo mode. The rear button is used to take photos. Notice that it is marked F3, which means it's also a programmable function button, and the user can choose from a list of possible functions. The switch in front of it is the normal zoom control. The focus ring can also control zoom and iris and things like that. I'll get to that in a bit. To the front of that is a hidden compartment with the accessory shoe. Notice also to the right there, the camera has Wi-Fi ability. This lets you connect to your home network, to a cell phone that can then control the camera, or use the cell phone as an accessory camera to feed video back to the Panasonic. Notice also this odd thing on the edge of the flip-out LCD screen. That is actually another tiny camera that can face you while you make videos and provide a picture-in-picture shot. Near the front of the camera are a couple more buttons for quickly changing features. The left one lets you change the purpose of the ring around the lens to control focus, zoom, and iris. The other side of the camera has ports for power adapter, recharger, headphones, and under a flip cover near the front, a microphone input. With the LCD screen open, even more buttons are available. In the upper right, it is the power button, and this is typically only used when you power on for the first time. After that, the LCD screen flipping out controls on and off. But if you happen to turn the camera off with this button, you also have to turn it back on with that button. Just to the left of that is the mode change button for record or playback. The default mode is recording when you first turn the camera on. Below that is the SD card slot under a flip cover. Below that is the high dynamic range button, and this is only usable in HD modes, not in 4K. I was a bit disappointed about that. Below that is the battery release switch. The battery is on the very back of the camera. To the left is the Wi-Fi function button, which is programmable. Lastly, there is an HDMI port and included with the camera is an HDMI mini to standard cable for connecting to your television set or computer. Next to that is the USB port for connecting to the computer and transferring video. The first thing that I tried out once I powered up the unit was the zoom. Here I am standing in my living room at wide angle. The camera always starts in wide angle, and zoomed across the neighborhood, across the highway and river, and could clearly see the airplanes on the tarmac at PDX. The image stabilization made this fairly smooth until I started waving the camera around. Later I did some video of a house concert and a jazz club, and with the image stabilization, even doing handheld video is mostly shake-free. It does get a bit tiresome holding the camera for that long because, like I said, it does have a bit of heft to it. This camera has so many darn features built into it that it's a very good idea to download the manual PDF and go through the various features one by one. There are some I will likely never use, like a baby calendar function. But the low light level night mode is very much something that I need to have. There's even a pitch black infrared mode. The transmitter is on the lower left of the camera as you face the lens. There's also a live broadcast feature if you're part of one of their online services. I did find something during use on the LCD screen that is not explained in the manual, that I could find anyway. It may be a leftover option from when it was programmed. There is a small letter I at the bottom of the screen button that will light up if touched, but it doesn't seem to do anything. So if you find out what it does do, let me know. That's it for now. This camera looks like it will be a great fit for what I need. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments and I will try to answer.